Hello, everybody. Hmm. I I know Daren always says to like wait a little bit for everybody to join, so we'll just wait for a bit for people to join. And if you're here, feel free to message us in the chat box. Um, I don't know if Daren can see it, but I can see it on the side. I don't know how much I'll engage in the chat box, but I'll respond when I'm able to.
What's that? Since we're going live this way, I can't even see who's on the live right now.
I can see it. I just opened up a tab from YouTube.
Oh,
But for you, you wouldn't be able to, I think, since you're on your phone, right?
yeah, but you know what else? If we go
Hmm.
live this way and we don't do
Mm-hmm.
it on our phones, you're not
Mm-hmm.
going to get just random people coming on.
I mean, right now there's 2 people watching.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Oh, I'm one of them watching. Okay. Well, there's another person watching. I don't know. Darren, I'm just going to trust, as you say, whoever comes in this way and just kind of going with it. So,
Uh,
for the person that's watching or anybody that watches going forward, I'm Luna. This is Daren. We have co created Ripp Into Light, the New Earth School. Our mission is to really awaken humanity's hearts through self empowerment, and that's what our school is about. We have a variety of modalities that we offer in groups or individual, and we actually just finished a Crystalline Soul Healing session for switching timelines to complete your mission. And while I was there, I was given this very strong download to come live and channel the Pleiadians about releasing emotions. So if you're here for a reason. Whoever you are out in the YouTube-verse, we'll call it, and whoever's watching later. And yeah, I think I'm just going to just dive in and see what comes, so to speak. I can feel so much energy, ooh, in the back of my heart. Like it feels like a ball of energy. And when I got this message of coming on here, it was like this expansion energy in the back of my heart. Um, and one of the messages that came through was to listen to the guidance and listen and allow yourself to be guided by, of course, like discerning what feels good. So that's why we're here right now, hopping on. It was funny because I was just telling Daren, I think after this I need to take a pause and just be. And I feel it's important for me to hear and integrate what they want to say. Um, Out of the many collectives, the Pleiadians were able to ascend the quickest and the easiest, and that's what I've been asking and calling in, is how to, yeah, ascend to the way of neutrality, with, of course, the guidance of these other collectives like the Lyrans and Orion, um, and many, many other collectives that I could go on and list.
can't even
um,
get the vote to like come on.
what's Are you talking to me, Daren?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just trying to bring up the live,
gotcha.
so I can you know,
So, yeah, I hear you. Do you want me to wait until you're connected before?
yeah, yeah, because I just
Okay.
want to tell
Yeah, I
everybody.
can. Yeah, I can. I'll just continue and just let me know when or come back when you're connected, I guess, and
Just
that
saying
will.
now I'm connected. I see you now, but I'm just gonna say welcome. Welcome to the live. Luna, so Luna is on the channel. So
So I'm here to, channel the Pleiadians to see what they want to say about releasing emotions. I don't know how your month has been, but typically, at least in my upbringing and the collective as a whole, there is a lot of resistance, belief systems around allowing the energy to move. And emotion, the word, if you break it down, is energy in motion. And much like myself, the collective as a whole sometimes has challenges with releasing and allowing that energy flow to really move through you instead of staying in you. And it's interesting, us being humans, because we have all of these emotions and all of these feelings and situations and experiences, and sometimes it might not be the most opportune time to start sobbing or allowing yourself to have that connection with yourself and those around you. And there's just this invitation to allow yourself to be like that. And I'm being reminded of this vision that I got from my guides a while ago of where the collective is going is like popcorn, that you will talk to somebody and you will feel comfortable around expressing whatever you're processing without any sort of barrier or belief system that you have to sustain and like hold on to it, and just allowing it to flow through. And it's like a quick process, just like popcorn popping, like sobbing and then coming back to neutrality, which is what we're being invited to step into. That yes, there is a gamut of, quote unquote dark or light energy, but all of it is welcome, all of it is. And can we see it from the whole perspective of just neutrality, and that we're choosing how we view it and see it. Yeah. And I see your back, Daren. Does that mean you're connected?
yeah,
On
I
the
mean, yeah, I was. I just,
Okay.
I just wanted to type in the chat, welcome everybody and stuff like that,
Yeah.
say what you're gonna do.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'm just gonna dive right in, and whoever's here, hi, welcome. We'll see how this goes. I'm being guided to do as I've done before, usually on our Patreon, where my earpod's coming out. On our Patreon, where I drop in and channel whatever wants to come through with some sort of activation. It might be light language, it might be words, it might be a mixture of both, or songs. Who knows? I never know. Always for the greatest and highest good. And then there's an invitation for Daren if he wants to ask questions, or maybe even you as a viewer have a question that you want to ask, or I don't know. So this is just an
What
experiment.
what are
I'm
we,
just listening to the guidance.
what are we setting
Go
the
ahead, Daren.
timer for?
For how long for me to be in channel, you mean?
Well, just how long we're gonna be on here in general?
Well, you've been on already, Daren. So how long would you like to be on? I think is a better question.
Yeah, I went
Or
live
another
earlier, but
question.
I mean, I don't even know how long we've been on
What
here
feels
now.
good?
But, I don't know, maybe
It says 8 minutes so far on my end.
maybe like a half an hour.
Okay, that's interesting because I got that too.
No, okay.
So a little bit before 11. So that would
So
be
like 20,
almost 2 for you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's about 2:20, I mean 1:20, so you figure 2 o'clock. I mean, that's a little more than a half an hour, you know. I mean, that's fine with me, I guess. You know.
Okay. So I just request Daren, as we do before do on Patreon when we channel the light, which are different higher dimensional beings to come through with messages and activations, to just pull me out when it's time to make sure that we finish.
Yeah, well, are we going to, so I guess like 10 minutes before, are you planning to channel for a half an hour? Like how long do you want to channel for?
Whatever wants to come through, I say we kind of just wing it. And
Well, yeah, we're gonna wing it, but when do you want me to pull you out? That's what I'm trying to say. Do you want to have time afterwards to like talk, or do you just want to be pulled out right at 2 o'clock? That's what I'm saying, you know?
mm, yeah, well, usually when I channel, I receive a lot of visuals or because I hear what they would like me to say and it like comes out my vocal cords. However, I usually get a lot of visuals and knowing as well. So I think to answer your question, yeah, me just channel for 20 minutes and then I can process or answer questions or um, that maybe people have afterwards.
Okay, so I'll set the
If that
timer
makes
for 20.
sense.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll set the timer for 20
Okay.
minutes and yeah,
Okay.
fine.
All
You're getting
right.
back. You're getting back in the saddle.
Getting back in the saddle of channeling higher
Yeah,
dimensional beings.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I channel them often, just not with the intention of like right now they want me to channel about releasing emotions. So
I never
again,
shared.
if
I'm
oh
not going
yeah,
to do it on
well
here.
we
Not
can
going.
yeah we can
I got
take
like four
pictures of them
pages,
and post
like
them.
four
Cool,
pages.
sweet. He's talking about we just did a crystalline soul healing intention for switching timelines to complete your mission. And we do crystalline soul healing and light language, and he has a bunch of drawings that we're going to add to the Patreon. So, anyways, all right, let's dive in. So, again, hi, I'm Luna. This is Daren. I'm going to drop in and channel the beautiful collective, the Pleiadians, on what they want to speak about to release emotions, is the topic that I received. I feel like so much pressure on my heart chakra right now. I will say that I am feeling a lot of emotions right now, to be completely honest. A lot of sadness and grief came up with the template that we just ran. Ah, yeah, around like trusting the flow of everything as well. So that's kind of where I am in my state, in my human beingness, and we'll just kind of see what comes and see what they want to share. And thank you all so much for being here. Whoever watches this now and going forward, I'm going to drop in, see what they want to say. And if there's time, of course, Daren, you can ask questions or people in the chat, and then I'll come out and share whatever visuals I got or like other psychic information that came through. So, yeah. All right, here we go. I've never done, well, no, we have done this live when we were doing the Channeling the Light series, but that was such a long time ago. All right,
Yeah,
here we go,
you haven't done it.
Daren.
That was probably last year.
When we were doing it with Emily and then Eric a couple of times.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
last year.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just put a pause on things and then they just come circle back. They're like, you're
Almost
doing
like
this
almost
again.
like a year. Almost a year.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to drop in now and see what wants to be shared. Thanks, Daren. Thanks, everybody that's watching too. I'll see you
Welcome.
on the other side. I'm a little bit nervous.
Got this.
Welcome. We are the Pleiadian Collective. Thank you for inviting us into this space today. We have come here to share a very important message to your humanity. The message of integration. All of you are invited in this sacred unity of all of you, not parts of you, but every single aspect that you have been calling in, that you have been wanting to greet, feeling confused about who you are, why you're here. There is no reason to turn away from those aspects, those parts of you to which you would like to put under the rug, so to speak. We invite you to pull the rug up. Look at what needs to be uncovered. These parts are a part of you to which have been ignored, that need to be integrated. We understand that these are aspects that are not highlighted or encouraged within your collective, making it more challenging of how to go about this, how long to look at these aspects, what to do with these aspects, how to feel all parts of these aspects into my being, into your beingness. We understand the confusion, the overwhelm, and the misinformation that is within your collective, within these individuals, that while they understand and would like to invite you to tune into these parts, typically will guide you in a way that allows your energy to loop around and around without actually releasing the emotion, the belief from your system. So again, we have this invitation for you today to look at all aspects of you under the rug, as well as around the rug, the light that is shining on this dust, this muck, these worries and fears and emotions that feel more dense than which you would like to be in on a regular basis. When we are in these emotions and feelings, feeling them completely without any sort of expectation of how it should be, just allowing it to be, it freely leaves the system. We understand that this sounds very simplistic and cliche and too easy to do, or many of you have tried and it has not completely worked, that it still feels stuck in this circular motion, but the energy is not leaving through or moving through you. It is still stuck, feels as though it's stuck within you. When there are emotions and energies that are stuck within the system or have that sensation, there are multiple emotions, layers, and beliefs within this field. Just imagine that there are layers in front of you, like different blankets. Visualizing these blankets as though they're each labeled different emotions to which you can put on your body to feel. Making these blankets soft and comfortable as you feel this energy move through you, such as anger, sadness, despair, and even when you're ready, happiness and joy will come of these because you have released these blankets of choice, these blankets of emotions, and the beliefs attached to it. We're going to invite you through a visual practice right now to help you release. If you choose, you may continue to engage in this channel. We invite you now to visualize something that you are having a challenge with, something that is hard, feels hard to the ego, the human as a whole. Imagine that there's a portal of energy in front of you, this black hole with white light swirling around it. Put that belief, that energy, that feeling in that hole, illuminating it, allowing it in its entirety to be in front of you, setting the intention to completely consume you in this very moment. Allowing the energy, the belief, the feeling to completely consume you. Without any expectations, allowing yourself to feel. Focusing on your heart. Feeling green light shooting towards your heart, towards this portal of energy. Allowing both the room to grow and expand, to contract at the same time. And eventually you will notice a place of neutrality. Keep focusing. Feeling both the love and whatever emotion is present for you right now. And you might have noticed that there is a shift within your energetic field. That this dense energy feels not as strong as before. Not that this energy has been completely erased from your system, from your knowledge or your memory bank, but it is of more of a neutral nature. We invite you to have this visualization practice of bringing new memories, feelings, and emotions into this energy field, and visualizing a green light coming through your heart, shooting towards this portal of energy, holding space for both. Holding space for both. And the thing is, when we hold space for both, it comes into neutrality. And there will always be love and expansion in this neutrality, putting you back, your soul back into balance. This is the easiest exercise to embody, to bring yourself into alignment, into your being able to access clear guidance and follow clear guidance, the more times you try this exercise, you will allow yourself to see more clearly, so to speak. We feel complete for now. That was interesting. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but a lawnmower literally started after I said we feel complete for now. I can't hear you because you're muted.
Yeah, I hear it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That felt so different than other entities that I've channeled. Like when I've channeled the Galactic Federation, which I know the Pleiadians are part of that, it didn't feel so far out, I guess, to reach, or to connect.
Yeah. I
Um,
I think what I encourage you to like ask yourself, is there a specific group, that that you are meant to, because I think what's happening is like you're trying different entities out and different higher dimensional beings to kind of see what feels good for you and what you resonate hard with and what feels good in your body and everything else. And so like I think that you're kind of playing around with the idea of who you're going to continue, who is meant to like be kind of, how like certain people they just channel, like Bashar just channel. I mean, Daryl Anka channels Bashar, and you know, um, Kyron is channeled by that one guy. I forgot what his name is. And then you have like Wendy Kennedy channels the Pleiadians, and Jamie Price channels um, Orion. I think his name is, or wait, is it? No, not
Jamie,
Orion. What's
the
his name?
Lyrans.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, she channels
Arion.
that one. Arion, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think what's happening is you're like playing around with different entities and higher dimensional beings to see who you're going to be channeling and what you're supposed to be bringing forward to the collective. And so, like, I
Mm-hmm.
encourage you to like ask, and because you have gone through a lot of different higher dimensional beings. And I think that there's going to be one that you're going to be meant to bring through the information for the collective. And maybe now's the time because you've been trying different things, but like who lights you up the most. And maybe it's just like a group that you're gonna have a name for, and it's gonna be this group that is gonna, you know what I mean? Kind of like um, I channeled the divine. I mean, I channeled the Galactic Federation and a few different. Sherman was recently. I channeled. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I posted on Sherman, which is my dragon, and he had me channel him, like a week or two ago, and I posted it. And but the ones that keep coming forward is the Divine Council of Nine, like over everybody else. I'm like, no matter what, I'm like, okay, like Galactic Federation, okay, like this. Now it's just like been steadily them. And I kind of rightfully so understand it because they like been observing humanity for thousands of years. And I'm here to assist humanity in remembering who they are, and so are they. And they bring through the activations and codes, for everyone to help them and assist them, on their journey. So anyway, yeah, it was just thought something that just came through. Just the thought, you don't have to do it, and only if it resonates with you. And you have to do it right now. I'm not saying like right now, like on this live or anything.
Yeah, after you saying that, I just feel like what I need to do is just continue to channel different beings. Like, next.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done it
yeah.
before, but just not live. Um, Another being would be like Yeshua or Mary Magdalene, the angelic realm, my angelic family, you know.
You know what I get too? You know what I
Hmm.
get also, which I think that you're leaning, you're they're having you do this because you're moving into the direction of like mediumship, where you're going to be channeling people's loved ones. And we did this before on one of the things that
Oh
we did.
yeah, that was so wild. I remember that.
And so I kind of have that feeling that that's what you're being prepped, because by trying all these different higher dimensional beings, you're going to be able to tune in and bring forward people's, like loved ones and pets, and, you know, just communicating with the other side,
Hmm.
to bring messages for people and stuff like that, kind of like a preparation. They're going through they're preparing you, that's what I get. I don't know if that resonates with you or not, but that's something that I get. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the feeling that I get is that I'll be um, that I'm encouraged to channel a bunch of different beings and different collectives or beings specifically that I resonate with already, and I like
Yeah.
their messages. I'm
Uh,
hearing that I should channel the Lyrans too, and I'm like, because I just think of like Jamie, and Jamie's like phenomenal with channeling them, you know. But maybe it'll be, yeah, a different
although
collective.
you are
I'm
too,
also
though.
like,
You're
oh,
just as
Syrian. I didn't
phenomenal
even
too.
talk about Syrian. Syrian, I know, is like, I know I'm part Syrian. I mean, all of us are part different galactic energies, but yeah, I feel like Syrian might be another one
You're
for me
just
to
as
dive into and
um
channel.
you're just as good as Jamie is. Like what? Like I don't see any difference.
Well, it's just more of Jamie channels Orion, or not Arion. I keep saying Orion now since you said it before. Um, and doesn't mean I'm going to channel Arion. It could be a different group, right? Same
Yeah,
with
yeah,
same
yeah.
with like Syrians or what have you, or Octurians. Octurians came through when we were channeling the Crystalline Soul Healing, so, and the Orions actually.
Yeah, because I mean, listen, like a lot of people don't do that. They just specifically channel one, group or
I
one
don't feel
individual.
like, yeah, I've never felt like I'm supposed to channel just one group. That's never
Well,
really
that's what I'm saying.
resonated
This could
with
be
me.
something different. It could be something different, like you're just bringing messages for the collective from whoever that is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, not have any expectations, whatever the reason is, you'll find out one day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Well, for anybody that's here, I just channeled the Pleiadians. They came through and talked about how to easily release emotions. If you weren't here for it, you're just now joining. You can watch the replay
Oh,
um, when this finishes. And yeah, there was a lot of beings from the Pleiadian collective that were coming forward to, like, just around the room. You could see like my eyes moving to like give me the message. Um, and yeah, the visuals that I
nice.
got that it didn't say verbally was opening the heart and um, expanding the light body to allow for the integration of the codes that were brought through. And oh, my pinky, there was so much energy coming out of my left pinky with like the hand shapes that they were having me do to activate the heart chakra and connect us to the earth. It was very strong. And
You see
yeah,
what
then there
Dale
was this
wrote you?
visual, I'll look in a second. There's a visual of a portal of energy, and it looked like just like a black hole, quite honestly, and then swirling this swirling white tornado energy around it. You know how you kind of see um, when people describe timelines, it's like pure blackness, and then there's like zipping colors, but instead of that, it's just like a pinpoint of black at the end, and then white light just swirling around, and you pulling in and just projecting whatever it is that has some sort of belief or discomfort or whatever it is, you can pull up around it and allowing it to just be fully seen and embodied and integrated. And yeah, I started crying because they were telling me to do it as well, like do it with you, to for you all to witness my experience as well. So it's I was channeling and then also doing it with you at the same time. So that was a very interesting experience. And for me, I pulled through um, the car that I recently bought. And as Daren, we were talking before coming on this live of me not coming from a neutral place of like, oh my gosh, I bought this from fear. Like, I'm hearing like it's not really my car. Um, you know, my daughter this morning was like, well, you should just start looking for a new car, mama. Like, she's just so cute. And I'm like, oh yeah, I probably should. Um, but to come to that neutrality point, right, you have to really feel the gamut of emotions and the feelings and whatever's present with you, and be present with also like what beliefs that you have that you're aware of or unaware of. And I really liked the activation of visualization that they had, because there's this knowing of you don't have to know completely what the belief is or even like all of the emotions that might be there. Just allow, just like pull in whatever piece you have and just witness it. And by doing that, it's just allowing this to be shown in the dark, so to speak, and to the light, so to speak, to bring it into balance. So yeah, that was. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna work on other things and see how it goes. And if you all do as well, please let us know how it goes for you, because I'm always curious when they bring through very specific visualizations and information to help you with releasing or activating. And um, whenever I've done it, it's always been pretty profound and supportive. Okay, you said that someone commented something.
Yeah,
Here, I'll move my screens around.
several comments, but I can't see it. It's too far away.
Dale says, Luna, not simping or flirting, but you look radiant tonight, glowing even. Powerful stuff. Thanks, Luna. Thanks, Dale. What's up, Daren? Didn't think you could read the chat, brother. Gonna rewatch the live. I came in a few minutes before the channeling ended. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, definitely watch the replay for you or anybody else. And for anyone that's here and resonates, feel free to hit the like button or share this out if it feels good to you.
Well, they won't be able to right away, but because I don't know, it has to process or whatever.
Well, usually, I mean, at least on my end, when you share it and you're still in the live, you can
Oh yeah,
share it
then
to
you can.
people and
Yeah,
then they
yeah,
can
yeah,
watch the replay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's true. Yeah.
I
That's true.
feel, yeah, so much more calm right now. Like a lot of energy moved through me. Whereas before, it's like my legs felt really dense, which I didn't realize until now it's not there anymore. You know, sometimes when we have these feelings or emotions or even density within the body, we don't realize that we've been holding on to it until it has been transmuted or released.
Oop, oop.
Um,
Or it turns into
kind of like our,
pain.
yeah, kind of like one of the people who did our series of the Kundalini activations and did 6 of
Oh
them,
yeah,
and then said at the end of
yeah.
it, like coming to it this the 7th one, and said like, wow, I just realized that I had pain throughout my body, and I was like a 9-year-old woman, and the pain's gone now after coming to these sessions.
yeah.
Um, and now I don't have pain anymore. I like sobbed or
Yeah,
cried when she shared that because,
that was really powerful.
yeah, to have such density within the body is uncomfortable.
Oh
Sometimes
yeah.
it's uncomfortable to be
Yeah.
human and
Hmm.
in this realm and processing everything that's around us and within us. So,
Yeah, well, like you have these tools, even like light language, like channeling, like breathing. All those things are so supportive because they're like dropping you into your heart, where
mhm.
you don't have pain, you don't have anything, you're connected to source, and it's just bliss. So they're trying to show you basically that you have access to that anytime you want, like you can shift yourself anytime you want.
Yeah, and as you say that, what I'm hearing is, and being shown with like hands in front of me, which is so interesting, is in order to shift that to be of a higher vibration and actually hold that higher vibration, is to allow yourself to feel other emotions that maybe haven't surfaced or been fully acknowledged and embodied, or as they said, integrated. And then that will allow you to hold the vibration instead of constantly zipping back and forth.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and then they're saying it just starts with um yeah, setting the intention that whatever it is you're ready to release, that like just tuning in and checking in with yourself. Do you feel like you've learned from this? Do you understand how this came about or how this manifested by the belief systems and the emotions and feelings that you hold? And then what you want to do with it? Um, and do you accept it as a whole? Um, or do you still feel some sort of resistance? And if there's resistance, what they're saying is there's a very strong emotion and a belief around it should have gone a different way. It
Hmm.
should have, there was a better choice, so to speak, and you didn't choose it, and so there's like this resistance and this block from it. And they're just saying like when you come to accept that this is just what transpired and became a part of your reality, and allowing yourself to feel it and recognize why you chose that. Again, they're just saying like you don't have to know all of the beliefs that's tied into it, using that visual to help you fully release it. Then you can hold a higher vibration going forward, and that kind of learning um, and those feelings and emotions attached to that experience will not come back, is what they're saying. And that's how um, they ascended. That's how they moved quickly through it, is just realizing, um, like allowing themselves to feel it all and be with it all, and setting an intention to look at it from all of the angles that are present, and then using these visualizations. They're saying this technology to release it, and giving it back to the light, giving those aspects back to yourself, um, that have been, and they're showing me like scattered, like that have been scattered across the universe, um, that our energy has been scattered and we're being invited to bring it back in. Um, and they're showing me like a puzzle piece, like they're showing me like lines over like our face, like pulling back each piece of ourself that are like these dust pieces that they're showing around like the carpet, and like looking under the carpet of those aspects of you and calling it back in and being with it all.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like I'm being shown like when you are not feeling well, not you, but when somebody's not feeling you know, um, how we have resistance around it and that we have to fix it. And then what happens is we don't allow the body to just do what it knows it can do because the body's like the most intelligent piece of technology. But we think that we have to get in the way of trying to fix it. When if we just let go and we trust, we'll move through it faster. Like people end up having these colds and flus and all these different things for so long, and they're dragging on for months because of their resistance and not allowing the body to just do what it can do and knows what to do. If we did, it would be gone like this, because we just like allow. And that goes for anything, anything that you're trying to stand in the way of allowing it to, you know, just move because it's like it's essentially just God moving through us. But then we stand in the way of that and we don't trust. And our ego wants to think that we can fix it and we can make it happen faster. And, we're just slowing the process down. And so I think and I feel and what I've been getting, it's like the biggest, I think even bigger than scarcity and lack is letting go and surrendering and letting go of resistance is what humanity is moving through right now because so many people and they're showing me like the people on social media too that are being banned from social media and Twitch and all these things that they can't do anything about it. It's like their hands are tied and now they're being shown these situations that they can't change the outcome, that they have to just sit back and just let it unfold however it's going to unfold you know so this is like what we're experiencing right now. So many people are experiencing and don't realize why, and they're just like, oh, this person banned me for this amount of time, blah blah blah. And when in actuality it's like it's kind of the same thing with what you said with your car. It's the same exact thing. Now just stepping back and allowing for it to kind of like surrendering, allowing it to fold how it's going to fold, wherever you're led next, without standing in the way and trying to fix it yourself, but just, okay, I surrender this to my higher self. Like, I'm going to just step back and allow for it to unfold for my highest and greatest good. And then actually doing that and trusting, and not getting frustrated and being like, oh man, it just broke down. Oh man, this just happened, like, and just being okay with that and knowing that it's part of your journey and um, and the quicker you do it, the quicker a solution comes. The longer you resist, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying people, in general, I'm trying to generalize it. Um, the quicker a solution comes, the faster you actually move through it than when you add the resistance and not let go, you know? And that's a
Right.
big thing we're moving through right now.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing is when we resist, it just persists. How
Persist.
many
Yeah,
times
exactly.
do
Yep.
you have um, a feeling or an emotion or a belief system around something specific and it keeps coming into your awareness, like you loop about it, or there's
Yep.
situations that keep tying back to that situation in different ways. Um, and then it just keeps reiterating the same stories or
Yeah.
the same belief systems until you get to the grit of it, the feeling around it. Like, how do you really feel? And then when you feel it, what they're saying is when you really feel it, your belief will naturally be
Leave.
present. Well, you'll be present with it, you'll know what it is. And then when you
Yeah.
witness that, it will release because you've allowed yourself to feel the emotions without an expectation of why or how. Just holding the space of what's present for you, the belief will naturally. I just keep seeing like the word belief. It's like rising up from like the water and like floating on the top, and you looking down at the water and seeing whatever it is that's present for you, and then allowing that to also be released around this situation or the story that's been held.
Yeah, yeah, and um, it's like, again, it goes back to, it's just like, it's almost like they're showing me like someone walking forward and taking 2 steps forward, and then they add resistance, and then it, they're moved back a little bit. They're not
Mm-hmm.
back to where they started, they're just moved back a little bit. There's a delay because of the resistance, and then they keep adding it and going forward, and then the resistance, it keeps delaying the process, you know
Mm-hmm.
as there's more resistance, because you're almost like, you're fighting, you're kicking and screaming like, no, no, I don't want to do that, and it's like, so what do you
Mm-hmm.
think you're doing in that process? You're you're holding back the process, of the universe, because then you're just confusing the universe, and then the universe, doesn't. So every time, you add that uh, um, touch of resistance, you're confusing the universe, even more. Um,
Something
so I
that
want
I'm,
this, but
oh, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
So, something that I'm hearing that maybe the viewer or somebody out there that will watch the replay is like, well, how do I know when I'm in resistance? Like, how do I know that I'm not just, um, you know, trying to be present with it all? And how you recognize resistance is if things feel stagnant. Um, for me, I mean, it's experienced through a variety of ways through your senses. For me, when I feel resistance, I'll have looping. I'll hear stories that are connected to so many different situations, just it keeps coming into my awareness. Usually, there's high emotions involved. And sometimes, when there's really strong resistance, I will literally feel, sense, know this layer, like this clear layer of energy, like this field blocking me from moving forward, and like the most clear form of that there's resistance. Sometimes it's somatic, like I'll feel like something's pulling me down, like I can't, like I, as Daren was just describing about like moving forward, I feel like I can't move forward. Um, or like a knowing of there's something off here. And when you tune into that, like however it is present for you, of how is resistance represented in me right now, because it can shift and change. And just as I shared those different examples, then that's like your first step, like noticing that you are not allowing the natural state and the natural flow of the universe, of yourself, of giving and receiving, and really honing in and tuning into how to navigate life on this planet, and this journey to which we have chosen to embark. And when you tune into and acknowledge your resistance, that's like I'm seeing like a key, like that's the key to opening the gate of a new perspective. Realizing that you're in this state of stagnancy, that you can move forward and you could choose to move forward. And it's like I'm seeing like this gate open with this key, and then you have a variety of other perspectives like laid out in front of you, and you could choose to to try on any of them, um, and to see all of the perspectives you also hold within all of the other potentialities that are in front of you. um, and it's also interesting, Daren, it's like we're so it's so evident that there's a lot of resistance happening, right? And what Jamie Price channeled this month was stop resisting. And if you don't know what we're talking about, check out Jamie Price on her YouTube. She channels energies every month, and that was the topic around our collective was resistance. And that opposing of resistance is flow, allowing the natural state of flow, which is what? The energy, that emotion, energy, emotion flowing, the beliefs flowing out, that do not serve you anymore, that have been creating this resistance within your field of this magnetic energy that wants to come to you, that's been repelled, so to speak, or navigated down a different way away from you. And instead, it'll allow the magnetization to come towards you and to allow to be integrated with what you're calling in and what you're wanting to be aligned with.
They have an example they want me to share because it's like relatable,
Mm.
and well, a bunch of things were coming through, but like this one's right now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, first off, it feels icky in the body, and it doesn't feel good, when you're in resistance, and it's exhausting as well. And
Mm-hmm.
secondly, like for example, you being shown to do something, like maybe a group of people say, "Dude, let's go out to do this," and then you're like, "No, I don't have the money, can't do it." Like versus like, okay, yeah, sure, like not knowing that you have it all available to you, and not, that's resistance versus like, yeah, sure, and then like somehow, some way it will be available to you. But like most people, no, no, I can't do it, I don't have it, no way, I'm not doing it. But like you're being shown, and like, but then if you just lean into it, no matter what, like it will be provided some way, somehow. Someone will give you this, or you'll find this available somehow. It'll be like, oh wow, I found this $200 on my pillow, or like it just magically, whatever it is available. And that is, I think that's the most relatable, like they're showing me that people can relate to, and but it doesn't even have to be that way. It's like I look at when me and Luna met, and then not a long time after, then we started communicating, and then I can say it's the exact same thing that happened with Spiritual Boot Camp, this podcast I had started with someone. And I know for a fact that we were listening to our higher selves when that whole website got designed and done so quickly, and all this stuff just happened so fast because we weren't standing in the way. We weren't resisting. We were following the light and the energy, which is what just happened to me the last week and a half. And I fought led. You just keep getting led and led. But the moment you step in the way of being led is the moment that's you're putting up the resistance, and then the flow stops. And this can happen in every area of your life if you just allow it. And it's like the moment you step in the way, and like I said, I use the example of like a cold or a sickness or something, when you're trying to control the body and be like, oh, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, instead of just, oh, okay, like I'm going to just allow it, and it will go by so quickly and so fast, and you'll heal faster than you can even blink your eye. But it's the resistance that delays the process so long, you know? And so it's like, if I would have stood in the way, then that website would have not been built in a week, spiritual boot camp. And literally, I don't even know how it all happened and how it all came together. It was all a blur when I met him and everything, the individual. And I'm not mentioning any names because I haven't spoken to the individual to do that, but I'm just stating that at the time, I can't even tell you how it happened, how we met. I know how we met, but a lot of it was a blur because I just allowed, and the domain name got purchased, the website got built, the hosting, everything like literally just fell into place. Same similar thing to Ripp Into Light New Earth School. It's like it all just fell into place because we weren't standing in the way, and we weren't resisting it. We were just allowing, and it unfolded perfectly. And that's like kind of what the theme of right now is, what's happening to humanity. And it's like, it's the same thing, like I said, with money. If you're being guided to do something, majority of the time people stand in the way and they're like, I don't have the money, my bank account's negative, this and that. And then, well, yeah, um, but then it's the ones that actually, and I say this as a, they just showed me this, but it's like, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it because, then I'm not going to get any more messages. But it's like you jumping off the cliff, like you don't like jumping off a cliff, but like trusting that when you do, you're supported and you're guided and you're going to be perfectly fine. It's like a trust fall, like you fall backwards and then someone's going to be there to catch you, and that's like what they want. That is like the theme of 2025, and that's what's going to get more and more like this, where we have to trust the unknown. Maybe having maybe we're like our bank accounts are negative $1,000 or something, but yet trusting that everything's going to be fine, and so like this is going to be, like I said, I've been seeing it all over social media, people getting banned left and right with like 87,000 people on their lives and getting banned, and they don't even know why. And then they're like flipping out and freaking out, and this is the whole thing, like what's happening on a large massive scale. It's just like, I hope that everybody takes this, what we're saying in this video, and really, takes it in, because it's going to get more challenging as we go forward to trust. We're going to have situations that are going to come up that you won't have an answer. You can't figure it out with your mind. You have to use your heart and lead with the heart, and not be like, I have to fix this, because that's just the ego, like, I'm going to figure this out. No, you're not going to figure it out, because it's going to be something that you won't be able to figure it out with your mind. So
What I'm hearing from you saying that is, for all of you, if you have somebody within your life, to allow yourself, just as they do with, various camps for kids or adults too, allowing yourself to fall and to be caught and really feel what it's like to be falling, you know? And just because you're falling, understanding that things are falling away
mm,
that are meant to for your highest good. And then acknowledging when you were caught, when you were held, that is, yeah, just like Daren was describing, like that is the universe that's got your back, literally, because usually people catch you from your back, like they've got your back. um, and really practicing that and visualizing, releasing some sort of idea or expectation that you may have around a situation, which is really just a story that we are holding. And then imagining as you fall, you're just letting go of that idea, that reality to which you've created, knowing that you are supported. Um, oh, there's something else when you were talking that wanted to be said
they
too.
also said this group,
What?
they showed like a group, like, and I spoke about this earlier, um, like on the live I did earlier a little bit, and they showed like somebody having a group of friends, and one of the friends in the group was gaslighting them or
Mm,
mistreating them, and yet they don't want to leave the group because they're scared or fearful of losing all their friends, because they're all connected. And that is the part that they're trying to get people to understand, that um, you're only creating more suffering, and that's trying to hold on to something, you know versus like letting it go and knowing that something bigger and better is going to come along, and because it's not in alignment with you to stay in that group, and you're not supposed to, but you're resisting, and the allowing, you're like, so they're saying this is going to happen on a bigger scale, with it, whether it be a job, whether it be holding on to that job. Now you're preventing something better for coming along, holding on to the relationship, the friendship, the family, all of it, knowing that you may be alone for a little while, you know what I mean? Like, you may not have friends, you may not have a job for a while, while the universe is orchestrating everything behind the scenes, but trusting that now that you did that and you let go and now you're in alignment, that the stuff, the magic is going to start coming.
So it just came back. So while you're talking, they're inviting you to just pick up the pieces of guidance, like that there will be
Yeah,
um like breadcrumbs like leading the way, and they're inviting you to pick it up. And
yeah,
I know that many channelers and even we say the same thing of, just be in your heart, like just be in your heart, like come back to the heart, be in the heart. And for me, I didn't know what that actually meant, and I thought I was in my heart, but to be in the heart, you also have to be grounded at the same time. And I didn't really know how to ground. And to be honest, I'm still working on grounding my energy and being here because my energy naturally is wants to be out in the stars and and um the vibrations that I'm more used to because this reality is more dense. And they're saying to be in the heart is just listening to that guidance, whether it's like intuitiveness, hearing something, seeing something, knowing something, tasting
feeling
something.
something, feeling.
Yeah, I'm feeling something, and accepting those pieces that you're picking up as guidance too, that it comes in a variety of ways. And one way yesterday, when I was processing a few heavy topics that was kind of along the same thread, my youngest started channeling a song, and she always channels, and it's like very relevant for whatever I'm processing and going through. And just know that sometimes the guidance will be outside of you. It might be someone giving something to you or sharing something that is allowing you to realign and listen. This morning I woke up and I was getting the kids ready to like shuffle them out to go to school before doing the Crystalline Soul Healing session. I saw a hummingbird like literally hovering outside my door, waiting for me to acknowledge it. And I was like, holy guacamole, like, Zebra, do you see that? And like, it was just hovering, and then I got this download of like what it was saying. And um, yeah, just know that it can come in a variety of ways, whether through your senses or even in your surroundings. And as we are shedding these layers, the skin, like a snake sheds a bunch of skin, coming back to your still point of the heart, so to speak, there will be a lot of ways to which your soul and your guides communicate with you that you will recognize that is for you. And for me, that is like the coolest thing to notice along this journey is how they're communicating, how I can listen to the guidance, and then discern when to listen to the guidance. Is it something right now, or is it something to be delayed and work on or work towards, and just being in that process?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell, like, when I'm when I'm not following. Like I said, this whole thing that unfolded for me this past week, I could
Mm-hmm.
feel the different things, like you said, the breadcrumbs. And one thing led to the next, to the next, to the next, to then unfold to this outcome that I would have never expected. And that's the thing that they want us to really hone in on. Like, it will be something we will never expect. And it will be bigger and better and more amazing than we could have ever conceptualized with our minds, or even if we wanted to try to figure it out, you know, and um
Mm-hmm.
and so that is the key, and like following that feeling. I always say following that feeling because you can tell when you're resistant to it, and you kind of it's almost like you walk back and forth, like this, and you're almost like weed teetering back and forth, and that's resistance. That's not following, you know. That's kind of, you're jumping around. You're like, well, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Trying to figure it out with your mind. When you just go and you let go, it's like, okay, like you don't even, like, it's like you're not even in the driver's seat. That's how I described it with the spiritual boot camp. It felt like I wasn't in the driver's seat. It felt like somebody was doing it for me. And it happened so effortlessly and fast and quick and easy. Like this thing this past week, it's like everything was so smooth and just fell into place. And that's divine orchestration. That's that's you letting go and allowing your higher self to guide you. And that's for anything, man. And I've
Also,
been yeah.
another thing to add to that too is when it's 11:22 on the clock is there synchronicity, that you think about something, like think about somebody calling and they're calling you right now, or they just texted you.
Mhm.
You think of a butterfly, and a butterfly is just in your awareness and flies past your face. Are you
Yeah.
noticing the connections of the universe, which is always there, but are you really in tune with it, along with um, yes, along with holding, the processing state, right? And having a very healthy boundary of not continuing to be in that state of constantly needing to shift and change and do it quickly, and having this expectation that it needs to happen in a certain way in a certain time. And
Mhm.
that in itself is resistant. Like giving yourself a healthy boundary of how long to allow yourself to be in that state, to be present with all that wants to come through, and then realigning to, okay, now what can I do something that feels good to me right now? Is that singing or dancing or being outside, talking to the birds? What is it that is for you to allow again that balance? Because yes, when we release, it allows us to get that high vibration, and to allow ourselves to meet that new vibration, we have to again bring that balance of something that feels good to us, to keep uh, superseding that energetic boundary, to keep going further and further, to the point where that's when true ascension is, of seeing everything from a neutral form, and just allowing the state of feeling emotions, allowing beliefs, to be released with the energies, and then in return, just immediately seeing synchronicities of, gold light, seeing the gold suns, meeting a person named Gold. I don't know. And it is just natural state of your being, that is just who you are. And then they're saying, like, that's the word of enlightenment, is not necessarily that you don't feel anything or you don't have a variety of emotions. It's just more that it's spontaneous emotions in the moment, instead of this not now, wait until later. It's just allowing yourself to really be emotion to the fullest capacity, and that capability of who you are. And that is true expansion. That is the true reason that we want to be here, is to have a variety of experiences of feeling all the feelings, realizing what we're holding or been programmed to hold, and stepping into the power of, this is what I'm choosing to hold that feels good and resonant to me, and moving towards that. So releasing and then activating, essentially simultaneously, and having boundaries around that, not constantly expanding and trying to figure it out, or hear how to allow yourself to be of a higher state, or constantly being in the shadow of, like, oh, I need to, figure this out and move it through. But have boundaries around both, boundaries of coming to stillness, of just being, without this need to dive into either side to the extreme. and just dipping your toe into both and then just letting it be.
Yeah. And we got two things, right?
And Daren, I'm just letting you know that I have to wrap up in a few minutes too.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
fine with us thinking the same thing anyway.
cool.
Um, one of them I don't remember, but the second one I was being reminded to share because we're going through all of this so that we can get to a point to live in the fifth dimension, the 5D new Earth, and a little glimpse of what that looks like is like, essentially like, as if you had like a store and the store was fully stocked and you go into the store and there's nobody in there, no cashier, nobody. And you just go in there and you pick up what you want and you leave, right? Because there's no greed, there's no manipulation at that level. And we're at a point where we have released lack and scarcity. Again, it'll take a little bit of, getting yourself in balance to that from when most of us are conditioned and brainwashed that you have to exchange something for something. Whereas the new earth, you don't have to do that. There's no exchange anymore. And that's where humanity's headed. Humanity is moving towards, to get to a place where we can go and we can just grab what we need off the shelf and leave. There's no one going to go in there and try to take everything. And that's what's happening as we evolve. That we don't need um, governors and we don't need government and we don't need police officers to police everybody because everybody's coming from the heart. They're in their hearts and it's like you're not going to go in there from the heart and take everything off the shelf. So that's something to look forward to and something to picture as something amazing where, we can just live our purpose and be here and enjoy and excite and do the things that excite us. And not to say that you're not going to have things that come up between individuals because you're still expanding and evolving and growing, but it's not going to be to the extent that we're at now because we're clearing all of this stuff from generations and ancestors and and to get to the point where we can go into a grocery store and take just what we need. And if we do overtake, then we actually realize as the energy settles, we realize we're like, you know what, I didn't need all that stuff. You know what I mean? Then you maybe bring it back, and you're just like, I don't need all that stuff. And you just take what you need. And you don't need to have somebody ringing you up and exchanging energy and it's no need for it. So yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of say to where that to me is like moving, you know, and where we're headed, and it's such a beautiful place, and it just keeps me going, and it's so excited, because that's all about community and coming together and oneness, and there is no greed and manipulation and selfishness, you know, everyone is selfless and loving one another and really wants to support one another, uh, and so I don't remember what the other thing I started getting it and then it just faded, so I guess it wasn't that. I guess
Yeah,
that was more important that someone needed to hear.
awesome. Thank you for sharing. And thank
Yeah,
you all so much for hanging out with us. Feel free
yeah,
to watch the replay. And
yeah, yeah, it was good, it was a
again,
good
let us know in the comments if you try it out, if you try this visualization that came through from the Pleiadians collective of how they released beliefs and emotions quickly and how it is for you. They say it's a special technology that they use. So I'm curious how this technology works for all of you. I'm definitely going to use it. And I'm just being reminded to, yeah, have healthy boundaries. Um, around both, of not constantly trying to expand or contract, and just allow yourself to just be. And when you're in this beingness of not needing to do either, that is when the guidance will continue to unfold for you. Just doing like a little bit here and there will allow you to move forward, and then you'll start seeing the change. You'll start seeing the shift within you and within your reality. Um, yeah. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Pleiadians, and
This
all the
could
other
be
beings that have
this could
been
be titled
here.
this could be titled Unfiltered,
We could call, maybe that's how Unfiltered is. We channel a being and then we talk about it afterwards, like dive more into it. That would be fun. We could channel about like all the topics that are happening
Never know.
within the
Never know.
collective.
Yeah, never know. See, there you go. Unfiltered was just birth.
The episode 1, how to release emotions by the Pleiadians.
There
then
you go.
how
Make sure you write
and
it
then our
down.
discussion afterwards.
Make sure you write it down.
Um
Title it, and
oh,
you
I
make
don't need
it,
to write it down. I got it.
and make a
I got
thumbnail up
it.
for it.
You can make a thumbnail, Daren. You know how to
Yeah, I
do
think
it.
you're good at making thumbnails.
Ooh, maybe we should make a thumbnail right now. Um, I'm gonna do a screenshot, Daren.
All
Wait,
right,
no, I need to change the screen to make it sideways because we're on YouTube. Okay, one sec. I don't know if it's gonna let
make
me
it
do it.
make it silly and funny and what have you. Like really like so people are on the edge.
On the edge, okay. On the edge of their new being, of who they're
Yeah,
becoming. Is that the
yeah,
edge?
yeah.
Okay.
The edge
All
of their
right,
seat.
their edge of their seat. There's the edge of their sword. Okay. Hold on one second. All right.
The edge of their
Are you,
sword.
I don't know. You know how like the phrase like double-edged sword, like their edge of their sword of like seeing both perspectives of like who
Uh,
am I? Why am I here?
okay.
I don't know, that's just what I got. Okay.
Uh,
Ready? What is your facial expression or energy for the edge of your seat or your sword? Okay. I don't even know what I did. Oh my gosh. All right. That is a pretty good one. I say high five. I don't know if you're high fiving. Yeah, I just saw fingers. Okay, high five. I wish I could. Can I share my screen?
I don't know. Yeah, you should be able to.
I should be able to. Am I the. I kind of want to show you all the picture because it's kind of funny. Share. Okay, this one, I think. Share. Do you see it, Daren?
Yeah, it's loading. Yeah.
How amazing. This is our new thumbnail. This is
Yeah.
going to be
And
so
then,
good.
well, you're gonna add other things to it though, as well.
I never said I'm making this thumbnail, sir, but I'm happy
Oh,
to make this picture.
well, I think you should make it. At your when it
I
resonates.
I know you would like me to make one. I hear you. Okay. I'm gonna close this out. I love you all.
Love
If it
you.
resonates, like, share, comment. We love hearing from you. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take care. Love you.